In every palace, behind golden walls, lie secrets darker than night. This is the story of Amara, the maid who saw too much, who heard too much, and who carried the fate of an entire kingdom on her shoulders. Welcome to The Maid Who Knew Too Much: Secrets, Betrayals, and Scandals. Sit back, listen closely, and let the story unfold.
In a certain kingdom in the heart of Africa, where the earth was red with clay and the palm trees stretched tall into the sky, there lived a young maid named Amara. She was not born into wealth or privilege. Her father had been a poor farmer, and her mother sold vegetables in the market before both passed away too soon. With no one to take care of her, Amara found work as a maid in the palace of King Oba. Amara was unlike other maids. She was quiet, observant, and hardworking. Where others gossiped and argued, she listened and learned. She had a sharp mind, but she kept it hidden, for she knew that too much wisdom in the mouth of a servant was often seen as dangerous. But fate, as it always does, would push her into the center of storms she never asked for. The palace of King Oba was beautiful, but behind the golden gates and carved walls lay secrets darker than the night. The king was respected, but he was old and weak. His queen, Neka, was beautiful but cunning, and his first son, Prince Ugo, was wild and reckless. Amara, sweeping the palace halls and fetching water, began to notice things. She noticed how the queen whispered often with the palace priest when no one else was around. She noticed how Prince Ugo crept at night to the back gate, disguised, meeting strange men who spoke in hushed tones. She even noticed how some of the king's trusted chiefs exchanged sly glances during council meetings, as if plotting something unseen. One evening, while cleaning the queen's chamber, Amara found a folded piece of paper tucked under the silk pillows. It was written in hurried strokes: "The king grows weaker by the day. Soon it shall be time. The throne must pass, not by age, but by fire." Amara's heart pounded. She quickly replaced the note where she found it, her hands trembling. She knew too much already, but fate was only beginning. Days later, as she carried water to the royal garden, she overheard Prince Ugo arguing with his mother, Queen Neka. "Must we wait any longer?" Ugo hissed. "Hush your voice," the queen warned. "The king is sick. The people love him, but soon he will fall. Then we shall rule, and none will dare oppose us." Amara nearly dropped the water pot. She realized the queen and her son were plotting against the king. The scandal was greater than she had imagined. If she told, they would silence her forever. If she kept quiet, innocent blood would be shed. But fate gave her no choice. One night, Amara was called to bring food to the king's private chamber. As she placed the tray before him, the king looked at her with weary eyes. "You have been in this palace for some time, child," he said. "You see things, do you not?" Amara froze. She wanted to deny it, but tears welled up in her eyes. She fell to her knees and confessed everything she had seen and heard. The king sighed deeply, his frail body shaking. "I feared as much," he whispered. "You are but a maid, yet the spirits have opened your eyes to truth. You must help me, or this kingdom will fall into ruin." From that night, Amara became the king's hidden ally. She moved quietly, gathering whispers and watching shadows. She saw when the palace priest brought a poisoned drink meant for the king. She accidentally spilled it before it touched his lips. She warned the king of meetings in the forest where Prince Ugo gathered warriors in secret. She told him how the queen sent gifts to certain chiefs to secure their loyalty. But secrets are like smoke. No matter how one tries to hide it, the wind will carry it. Soon, the queen began to suspect that someone was betraying her plans. And it was not long before her eyes fell on Amara. "Little maid," the queen said one evening, her voice smooth as oil. "You are always near, always watching. Tell me, what do you truly know? Amara bowed her head, trembling. Only that my duty is to serve my queen. The queen smiled, but her eyes burned like fire. That night, Amara found a dead bird placed at her doorway, a silent warning. She knew her life was now hanging by a thread. The scandal soon exploded. During a royal festival, the king suddenly collapsed after drinking from his goblet. Panic filled the courtyard. The queen cried out dramatically, blaming the gods, but Amara rushed forward, screaming, "No, my king has been poisoned!" Gasps echoed. All eyes turned to the maid. The queen's face turned pale. The chiefs demanded proof. Amara fell to her knees, revealing everything she knew. The secret meetings, the whispers, the gifts, the poisoned drink she had once spilled. She even spoke of the note she had found. The queen roared with rage, calling Amara a liar. Prince Ugo drew his sword, threatening to cut her down where she knelt. But then, the palace priest, trembling, confessed before the entire court that it was true. He admitted that he had been forced by the queen to mix poisons, fearing for his own life if he disobeyed. Chaos erupted. The chiefs turned against the queen. Prince Ugo tried to fight but was overpowered. The scandal shook the kingdom like thunder. Betrayals were exposed, and the palace walls that once hid secrets could no longer keep them. In the end, Queen Neka and Prince Ugo were banished from the kingdom, stripped of power and honor. The king, though weak, declared that it was not his own bloodline that would inherit the throne, but the one who had saved it with loyalty and truth. He pointed to Amara. But Amara fell to the ground, weeping. "My king, I am only a maid. How can I sit on a throne?" The king smiled faintly. "A throne is not for the strongest nor the richest, but for the one who carries truth, even when it burns. You knew too much, yet you spoke. That courage is greater than crowns." And so Amara, the maid who knew too much, became the unlikely queen of the land. Her reign was remembered for generations as one of fairness, wisdom, and peace. But her story carried a warning that echoed through time. Secrets may sleep, but when they wake, they can shake kingdoms. And sometimes, it is not kings or queens, but the humblest of servants who hold the fate of nations in their hands.
And so, the humble maid who once swept floors became the queen who ruled with truth and wisdom. Her story reminds us that secrets may sleep, but when they wake, they can shake kingdoms. Thank you for listening to this African folk tale. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so more people can experience the power of our stories. Until next time, stay blessed and let the tales of Africa live on.